Hi, welcome. Debz Cooper, Global Stressologist. Thank you for joining me today. Woohoo! Today is one that we are going to have some fun with. So I would love to know if you're here live or if you're here watching this as a replay. Would be super awesome. So first I want to thank you for joining me. If you've been watching me for a while or not, there's a reason why you've come into this. It could be the topic. The topic is one well, obviously, you know the topic. The topic is top 5 conflict resolution strategies. So you'll know that's definitely one that will hit, I believe, every person in the world. And especially with what's going on with chaos around us. So thank you for joining me. First, I just want to talk about what conflict actually means. And when I looked it up in the dictionary, it was quite well, I find them interesting when I look at the dictionary because I have my own scenario of what things mean. And then when I look them in the dictionary, I go, wow, hadn't thought about that. But when I realize what conflict is, the actual wording, before we get into the resolution strategies, is it said it's a serious disagreement or argument, typically a protracted one. So a serious disagreement or argument, which, yes, I would say conflict is that. And you can get them from this little conflict to this conflict. And serious could be, when is this? This is still could be serious to some people, but others it may not. So it just depends on that. And the other is, the other meaning of conflict is be incompatible or at variance, meaning clash. And I quite liked the clash word because this is exactly what I'm talking about. Is sometimes they clash like this, and sometimes we clash like this, and sometimes we clash to a massive degree. So when I think about conflict resolution, when I put together this topic to talk to you today, I went, this is actually a real personal issue for people, but it's also a business issue for people. So it's all the same stuff, whether it's personal or business, and you'll actually notice quite a lot of my videos and the content of what I create is actually for personal and business. And it's not necessarily for you to work for somebody else or you work for yourself. Business is where you generate your money and what gives you that vibe, that lightness for being alive. So when I think about conflict resolution for personal, you're more likely when the attack comes, and I'm going to say the attack, when it comes from personal, you're more likely to take something personally because it's personal and it's somebody close to you who's going to say something about you, your children, your partner, your environment, whatever it is. Whereas business, you tend definitely have conflict resolution in there, you have conflict, but you tend not to take it as harshly, I personally think, as when someone attacks you personally. Now, somebody may say in business, you're no good at this job, there's someone out there better for you. And you may not be attached to that, so that's going to brush off from you. But if someone says, look what you're doing to your children, and, you know, you're making them dependent on you, any of those things, that may attack you more because it's what's important to you. So whatever that conflict is, when it gets thrown at you, and it affects you really, it hits you and takes you down, that shows you where it's really important to you. That's your highest priority, your highest value is whatever that is. So let me get into this. First I'd like to say is no one likes conflict. No one likes conflict. I don't know any person who likes conflict. It can affect your mindset. It can affect your physical. You can have little sleep. You can sleep too much. You can eat junk. You can not eat at all. You can turn to drugs or alcohol. You can turn to toxins. You can over-exercise. You can under-exercise. Whenever conflict happens, you know, some people just go to the gym and trash it out. Some people just internally dialogue and retreat and feel down. So we all have things different. Some eat, some overeat, some undereat. It depends on what's actually going on for you at that time. So nobody likes conflict. Not one person in the world likes conflict. And even the boxers, you know, you see the boxers and they have their pre-weigh-in and they go that. They're just doing all that for the media. I believe they're doing all that for media. That's not real conflict. That's not conflict. That's just the show and what they've got to do. They put that persona on. When you hear someone go, oh my God, that was so fantastic, let me go back and have it again at them, you know, maybe they're fighting a doorman, or maybe they're having a go at somebody at work, or letting the boss know that what they think of them, or somebody who's upset them in their world, or someone car rage or whatever, and you think about that, they don't want that conflict, but that's their adrenaline kicking in. And when their adrenaline kicks in, sometimes there's no sense of what's actually happening underneath. The adrenaline kicks in and you go into that fight or flight. And so you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. So I don't believe they actually want that conflict, but they've kept going in what's actually happening, and they're fighting and fighting and fighting for that. So just be aware of that. I've heard a lot of techniques. I've heard a lot of techniques about conflict resolution, and I'm just going to say, this bird just came and just landed by my chair. I was a little bit distracted. The two techniques that I've heard are really things is sandwich things. And when I say sandwich things, I'm not talking about the bread and the sandwich. I'm talking about, oh, you look lovely today, but the other day you did this, this, and this, and I don't like you for it. But I love the way that you take on these challenges. So that's a sandwich. That's something nice, then something slamming, and then something nice. Of course, if you Google it, they'll describe it differently or with different scenarios, but that's a sandwich. The other thing is fight for fight. So when someone's coming at you with full fisty pumps and they're really going for you, it's not wise to fight for fight. So these two techniques are just something I will just say, do not do, do not do, do not do. It's just going to go worse for all the things that are happening around you. They're just like my two, no way can this actually happen. So the 5 techniques I'm going to give you now. Actually, the first one is I'm going to say, well, actually, it's not the first one, is I'm going to say don't hide. So don't hide when conflict happens. It's going to happen. The more you hide from things, or the more you haven't done something, it's just going to get worse. So the key is not to hide whatever's going on around you. So the next thing I'm going to say is, so number one is very simple, is this your problem to handle? Is this your problem to handle? Is this something that you think you need to do? So being aware of that, you don't have to solve everything. You don't have to solve everything out there in the world. This is up to everyone else to solve their own stuff, and you can come in and solve it or not. It's entirely up to you. So you don't have to solve everything. You don't have to be a yes person, none of that. You can actually say no to handling it. So number one is it your problem to handle? No, it doesn't have to be. Or is it? So it's a yes or it's a no, entirely up to you. Number 2, plan your outcome. Now, sometimes before conflict happens, you know beforehand, then you know during, and then you know after. So there's 3 steps of conflict. So there's a before, there's the during, and then there's the after. So plan your outcome. What outcome do you want? Now, you can do this before, during, or after. So when you have your outcome of what you'd like, you have to ask yourself, is this flexible? Is this flexible? Is this flexible? Can I shift and change? Can I do things differently? Can I shift the goalpost? Can I do whatever? Is this flexible enough? Or is this very firm that it has to be this way? Because even though you agree to something, you actually can change your mind, just like they can. So even though you agree on ABC, you can change your mind at any time and change it to BCD. That is okay, because this is you who has to live with your decisions. I'm going to share a little bit about guilt in a minute, but this is you that makes the best decisions for you. So plan your outcome. Is it flexible? And you can move it if not. So that's all part of being that yes and no person as well. Are you a no person and then you say yes? Or are you a yes person and then you say no? Or are you a yes person and then get burnt out? Or are you a no person right from the start? So this is all around what works best for you. Number 3 And this is one that I've learned over the years, and I still tend to struggle on it a little bit, is listen and hold your tongue if necessary. So all you got to do is just listen to what they're saying and hold your tongue if necessary. So the key is to be non-emotional when you're listening. Now, that can be quite frustrating if they're talking about you or about a friend or somebody close to you and it's really meaningful. But you must listen to what they have to say, because there might be 10% in that 100% of what they're saying that really allows you to go, oh, I hadn't thought about it that way, and opens your mind. So listen and hold your tongue if necessary. You may need a mediator. So you don't have to agree with them, but you may need a mediator to come in and say, look, we want some help with this. What can you see? Because there's people who can look at things unemotionally, and it's 99% of the time as somebody who has no attachment to it outside the business or outside the personal world, who can just go, okay, so this is the issue. You've got this and you've got this, and you've got this in the middle. Let's see what we can do with this, because they are unemotional. And that's the joy of having a mediator. So, or a global stressologist. You're welcome. I'm a fantastic mediator. I can tell you lots of stories of where I've been a mediator and things. And we've got an outcome where everyone's happy. In fact, that's one of my fortes of business, is go in and resolve that conflict. If you've got staff, to get them out without them knowing what's actually happening. So, the other thing is, people want to be seen and heard. Everyone wants to be seen and heard, and if you're not allowing them to be seen and heard, you're going to get more conflict. That conflict is going to get bigger. So everyone wants to be seen and heard. Like I said, you don't need to agree with them. Non-emotional, just let them go. That's fine. Respect that for them. Number four is what needs to be done, and this is like a strategy. So it's make a list, and you all have to agree on it. You make that list and you all have to agree. So what needs to be done after you've seen and heard what they've had to say, you've got your own choice of what it is. Who can help you with that list? Do you need that mediator, global stressologist? Do you need someone else to come in and help, or can it just be done between you two people or somebody else? So what it is, and then get it done. The key for that is obviously get it down where you both agree, or all parties agree, but you must get it done. You must get it done. You must take action. If you don't take action, that conflict is just going to escalate and escalate and escalate, which we know that can happen. So get it done. Now, number 5 is my favorite. Actually, they're all my favorite, but number 5 is walk away. Walk away and be okay with it. So the key here is, if someone's having a go at you or conflict with you, and you just feel this is not going to get anywhere, it's going to be a fisty punch, and it's going to be like this whole massive escalation, and you feel that's going to happen, then just say, now's not the time, I'll come back to you and we can set a time to talk about this, and walk away. Because if you feel like this and they feel like this, it's only going to get worse. So just say, just give me a couple of minutes. If you want to say a timeline, or I just need to take a breather, or, yep, can we address the situation later on, whatever it is. So walk away and be okay with it. So when I think about this, I think about don't take on their guilt. So the key here is, with their guilt, is when you feel bad for saying something or not doing something. So the key here is, you can come back at any time to discuss whatever's going on. You can come back at any time about this. But to walk away, what you're doing is you're giving yourself a breather, and you're giving them a breather as well. Also, love yourself and them for bringing this to your attention and having this conversation. You must love yourself for bringing this to both people's conversation and alerting yourself to what's important right now. Because the higher you get challenged with this, that's really showing you what's important, and that's the important stuff. So don't let their attack, their stuff they're throwing at you. Don't let that get into your world. Don't let them come into your bubble. Allow it to be the way it is and respect yourself. So that's my 5 top tips. That's my top 5 tips that I've given you here today. Let me know what you... I've created a poll here. There's a poll that is going on right now. So if you enjoyed what you got here, absolutely, and you're going to implement it, let me know if that one. If yes, is you've got some stuff from today, yes, but you're going to think about it some more, let me know that one. And there's another one, a 50-50, meaning I get it, I just, I get it, some of it, I don't get some of it. Let me know, that would be great. You don't sort of understand it. And the last one was disagree with everything you say. Then let me know that one as well. So I would love to know what you thought of today. If you really had value in today, share this around. Great, let's get this out there, and let's dissolve this little bit of conflict resolution that is going on and soften the blow for everyone around. So thank you for joining me today. That's me over and out. I will see you next week. Take care, everybody, and enjoy this conflict resolution video. Bye.